Yo, what is going on, Doom fans? It's your boy, Glock. After a long time waiting, we finally got our hands on this battle mode that people are drinking so much hell about. Like, it's been crazy watching the gameplay and anticipating actually playing this because I really wondered what it was like. And in my initial time playing the game, I really felt like everything was in the demon's favor. It's really weird, right? Like, because I know like the Doomslayer, like, super powerful. He has a bunch of tools at his disposal. He has a lot of ways that he can basically get rewarded. Like, you do anything really with the Doomslayer and you pretty much get stuff back, right? From kills, you get health, you get armor, whatever else it is that you may need. You know, you got grenades, you got your fire tool, you have a lot of different things in your favor. It just still felt like, you know, the demons would just inevitably overwhelm you. Well, I don't feel that way anymore, and as of recently, I've been doing a lot better as a Slayer and actually getting some victories. So I decided to compile a few tips that I want to give you guys if you guys are into the mode and you're struggling as a Slayer. I've been noticing, like, especially in the multiplayer, that people are trying to play more as demons, and I feel like a lot of Slayers, they end up quitting. And the way the matchmaking works, it's kind of weird because it's like one person leaves, the whole game is done, and I guess I understand why for balancing purposes, but it's like, damn, dude, like, you know, we couldn't like just kind of stay in the lobby or whatever. Like, if that one guy wants to leave, they could have just like hold the lobby until one other person joins. Like, they don't do it like that. One person leaves, the whole lobby's over. So I noticed like a lot of people are losing and they're just leaving. So here's some tips. For number one, if you're the Doomslayer, you gotta first of all understand your weapon wheel. As small as a tip as that is, that's actually incredibly crucial. So switching between like your different weapons, like on the fly, knowing where everything is and like knowing what to start off with for which scenarios is like incredibly impactful on the whole thing. So like usually I would start off with the super shotgun. I would just try here to get some big damage in it. When I want to disengage, I would go to the ballista, and usually when I get their health low, I would try to go to the plasma rifle, the chain gun, you know, weapons that just kind of do just consistent damage, because the heavy hitters, they require more accuracy, more setting up. You know, you don't really want to chase with that. But if you're just trying to chip them out, just go ahead and switch to something that just hits like over and over, like a machine gun, anything automatic, that'll do just fine. So understanding your weapon wheel, what it's for, how to actually utilize it, incredibly important, because you don't want to put all your eggs in one basket, right? Like, you don't want to just sit there and like waste all of your heavy shotgun ammo on this shit, because that goes into our next tip, which is pretty much resource management. Understanding your resources and how to manage them is incredibly important. You don't really want to walk around with no armor. You want to walk around unprepared. So you want to understand when to use, you know, your fire tool, when to use your grenade, when to use your chainsaw, and really pretty much how to like move around with as much effect as possible, because you don't want to find yourself in a position where you're out of something, right? You don't want to be out of armor and in a bad position. You don't want to be out of, you know, ammo for your, you know, your heavy hitter, and you have a demon with full health and all you have is hose weapons, because you're going to lose. You know what I mean? Like, you want to ensure that you understand how to keep track of everything all at once. I think the best way to just do that is to make mental notes. Just make mental notes as you're moving around. Okay, I've used this, I need this, okay, I need to do this, da 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 da, and realize that, you know, everything that you're doing is constantly moving. You know, you don't want to lose any of those tools, so it's very important that you manage them. Another thing about the Doomslayer and understanding how to be more, you know, accomplished as a Doomslayer is to basically understand your map knowledge and know your footing. All right, map knowledge and your footing is super important. The main thing that you got to realize is the demons do not have access to the things you have access to. So teleporters and the little monkey bars and stuff, like those things, the demons cannot access those at all. So understanding like the map and how to get to these places to and fro, where the teleporters are going to lead to you, that's going to become incredibly advantageous for you, because that's pretty much your escape route and your time to basically get, like, you know, the next move in. Because what I've noticed is, unless you teleport like back into an area, say for example, right, and if you're in an area that's like really populated, you hit a teleporter, it usually puts you on the other side of the map facing that area you just spawned from. So if you basically go to the teleporter, you have like a fresh start. There's no mini demons, no nothing around you. Everything is quiet and it's peaceful, and it gives you a moment to kind of like regain your grounding and regain your understanding. So definitely take full advantage of that moment and try to use those teleporters to the best of your knowledge. Now, as far as your footing goes, I've had a lot of moments in the beginning playing as a Slayer where I'm just moving around and I would find myself stuck on pieces, just like walking. Like, it feels like inevitable almost that you'll just be dashing and you'll run into a demon, or you'll be dashing and you will hit something that's a little bit more elevated than you thought it was, misunderstanding it, and then find yourself stuck. And the one thing you want to ensure is that you do not sit still, which is another tip right there. You don't want to sit still in these kind of situations. So knowing your footing and where you are and what's going on in front of you is incredibly important. So be very aware of what's happening around you at all times, but don't overthink it, because I think that's what's going to end up happening is you're going to overthink it, and and overthink yourself into a situation where you're pretty much pressed and you don't want to be in that kind of position. A really huge thing I want to give some shine to as well, because I've been seeing a lot of Slayers, is you do not have to kill every fucking thing. Some things you need to just walk by, ignore them, and just let them be. Because really what you want to look at everything around the map as is basically resources, right? If you see a bunch of little guys in one area, how I look at that, that's a bunch of ammo and a bunch of health that I can use for later. So I would kind of bait the demons into using their loot block, right? I'll try to force them both to use it because I know there's a massive cooldown for it. Make them use it, and then go back to the area where you had them all kind of compiled up in. Go with your chainsaw, go in, go crazy, and you'll get a bunch of resources really quickly. So you kind of want to think ahead and kind of learn how to force their hand, because if you can do that, then you're gonna win off the rip. Like, you're definitely gonna fucking win. So you don't have to shoot every demon, but likewise prioritize which demon you're gonna go for. I think it's very important that you realize in each scenario what you're gonna have to, as a Doomslayer, you're going to have to basically create these scenarios and deal with everything that's happening on the fly. It's a freestyle. There is no safe answer in playing in these kind of situations, which is why I love this shit, because there's no like right or wrong. It's just a like, here's a moment, what do you do in this moment, right? So you want to definitely prioritize in every moment which demon is the one you have to go for. So like in some of the clips you can pretty much see me, I don't know which I'm going to showcase first, he's already recorded. But you know, in some of these clips you'll see I'll start off facing one demon and sometimes I'll leave one alone to go for another. Like especially in the one clip where I'm on the cyber map, and I think it's a pain elemental and an archvile. I think these are both the games, but I would pretty much try to get the archvile low, and then I would punish the shit out the pain elemental. And the reason why is because the archvile is so nimble, he can move around so much. So in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, if he can move around like this, and he's going to, because that's what he's been doing in both our games, because these are the same people back to back, right? So in both of our games, this archvile, he's getting out of there, right? Like I know he's going to move around quickly, so I'm not going to just let him, like, you know, get off scot-free, because the thing is that if the demon is killed, they have like I think like a 20-second spawn time. So if I can't get the other one dead within 20 seconds, it's gonna be a problem. So if the archvile is at full health and I kill the pain elemental, all he's gonna do is run away from me and zone me the entire time, because that's smart, right? That's what he's supposed to do. So I have to be able to think ahead of that. So I prioritize how I'm gonna kill them, which way I'm gonna go about it, and that's again good for knowing where your weapons are, what's best for which scenario, because it all goes full circle, right? If I want to, you know, get my archvile low, I would probably go super shotgun, right? That's like my favorite, you know, I think it's everyone's favorite. It's the Doom guy's favorite, right? You go super shotgun, you would basically tear his health to pieces, right? Go for the pain elemental, super shotgun him. Then I'll go like rocket launcher, just kind of like space and heavy damage him, right? And then hose him down with the plasma rifle, and I'll go back and I'll chase archvile with the plasma rifle. Like there's like little situations like that. Now again, everything changes on the fly, so just because it works for me does not mean it'll work for you, and just because it worked against these two players does not mean it'll work against the same set, because again, there is no really right or wrong or safe answer. But another thing you guys also understand as the Doomslayer is understanding to make sure you're actively going for resources. Like make sure that you're understanding that it's okay to disengage. You do not have to be face to face with everything all the time. You don't have to go toe to toe with the demons all the time. It is okay to run. It is okay to grab some shit. Go out there, gain some resources. Go out there and get away from the fight. It's fine. You don't have to just be macho, you know what I mean? Because you're gonna have to basically create some distance and create some spacing, because you're outnumbered. You know, at the end of the day, yeah, the Doomslayer has all these tools, but we're not the actual Doomslayer. We're not the actual protagonist. We're just people at the end of the day, right? So we're outnumbered as a whole. So you don't want to be in a position where you're just constantly just in the face of, you know, overwhelming situations. You know, the scenario gets really bad for you at the end of the day. No matter how strong you are, you know, there's a lot of things stacked against you. So it's definitely demanding of your attention, it's demanding of your reflexes, and therefore whenever you're in a situation where you're pressured, even with fighting games, the smartest option to do is to create space. That's the best option. So definitely ensure that you're using that to the best of your advantage and create some damn space and get what you gotta get. And outside of that, just basic knowledge, right? Like making sure you're using your dashes, because your dashes are definitely important. Making sure you're using your chainsaw properly. Don't just spam your chainsaw, guys. Make sure you, like, I go for the little guys. I only chainsaw the little guys for the most part, and then I use like my flamethrower on bigger guys to get more ammo out of them. And I just try to like make sure that everything doesn't really die when I don't want it to die, because there's definitely a scenario where I don't want certain shit to die. Like, I don't know if that makes any sense to you guys, but to me that makes like perfect sense. There's certain situations I just really do not want anyone to die. So yeah, outside of that, that's pretty much all it is, you guys. I will definitely making a video too from the demon's perspective on some better tips on killing the Doomslayer for anybody struggling as a demon. But I do want to add tips for these game modes, dudes, because like, yo, listen, this game mode is dope. You know, it's new, it's different, and again, when I first started playing it, I felt like everything was in the demon's favor. I felt like as a Doomslayer, I was getting fucked up. I felt like this was not fair, and I felt like there was balancing issues. But the more I got to play it and understand it, the more I realized, like, no, dude, I just suck, and it's okay, right? The game just came out, and as the game progresses, there's going to be more tips, there's going to be new strategies, there's going to be more and more things coming out. But this game did just now come out, so it's definitely not like something that we have to be gods at. So with that being said, guys, just have fun, enjoy the game mode for what it is, and thank you guys for giving me the time of day. Hopefully you guys got anything from this. It's been your boy Glock, and kick ass in battle mode, yo.